Hello, 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 hello. Greetings, earthlings, eldritch creatures, and beings of all sorts. Hello. How are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing? I hope you all are having a fantastic day slash night slash time zone slash time does not exist, and that the universe is all that you want it to be and all that you need it to be and more. Hello, Babakis. Hello. We rocking it? We rocking it? I'm glad you're rocking it today. I'm glad to hear that. Happy for you. So today, more writing, hopefully. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. But yeah, more writing today, hopefully. So if you don't know, in North America yesterday, there was an eclipse. So I went and I viewed that, which was cool. And I took some notes. So I don't know, maybe we'll be able to turn that into a poem. What do I write and why is it not about cats? I write lots of stuff. Mainly speculative fiction, but I also write poetry and some nonfiction stuff as well. And then in terms of mediums for writing, I will also write across mediums. So I'll write short stories, novels, novellas, film scripts, game scripts, you name it. I'm at some point in time I will probably try writing it. Yeah. And I haven't written much about cats. I think I have one short story from a while ago it's kind of dead in the water at the moment, that it involved a cat called Death Kitty. And it was the cat was a literal manifestation of death. But that's a short story, didn't really turn into anything. Or it hasn't, at least not yet. But maybe someday. You have an idea you don't want to write, but it's gold. Oh. It's an evil emperor who is hilariously incompetent, but hilariously lucky. Oh, I see. Well, if it's something you don't want to write, it's still... Having ideas for stories and characters and worlds is all still very cool. And I personally always think it's fun to explore ideas, even if it doesn't turn into like a finished thing, or even if it doesn't turn into something that has like physical materiality to it. I still think that exploring ideas like that are really, really cool. So I'm happy that you have an idea that you really like. Light novel material? I don't know what a light novel is, actually. Hold on, give me a moment. Let me do some internet searching. What is a light novel? Type of popular literature novel, native to Japan, usually classified as young adult fiction, targeting teens to 20s. Oh, I see. Interesting. Very cool. Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a great idea, and it kind of sounds like you have a format for it. So, that's really cool. A lot of people don't even get that far. So, like, yeah, you are indeed rocking it today, Babakis. Happy for you. Happy for that. Love that for you. I'm gonna switch us over to our writing screen. I don't really know what I'm gonna write today, as always. It's kind of, take it as it comes. I would like to maybe try to at least look at the notes that I took from the eclipse yesterday and see if I can turn that into something, but I don't know if that'll actually become anything. And otherwise we'll just kind of sit here and chat and vibe to music. I don't know if we're gonna stick with this playlist. We'll see. Write about a serpent that hungers for the sun. Oh, okay. Let me noodle on that one for a little bit. Let me noodle on that. We do have an ad coming up in like just a minute, so I might actually switch us over to our BRB screen while that runs. But let me think about the serpent that hungers for the sun. Let me think about that while the ad goes. See if we can write something for that. Thank you for the suggestion as well. So I'm gonna take us over to the ad break BRB screen. Well, hopefully the ad will actually run soon. I hate that Twitch does this, where it'll give me the warning, which is nice, and I appreciate that. I really like that. But then the countdown for the warning goes, but then it just kind of sits there for a minute, and it doesn't play the ad. So we're just sitting here until it decides to play the ad. Because I don't want y'all to miss anything while the ad goes. Like, it's just so silly. I don't get why Twitch is so silly about ads. And there's the ad. Okay. Should be back from the ad. Give me just a moment. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's try writing some stuff. See what we can get done today. I'm gonna keep this song on repeat for a while because it's scratching an itch in my brain. And I like this as an idea, or this as an idea, so thank you, Babacus. Right now I'm just trying to come up with, I think, with different phrases and stuff in relation to it, while I try to figure out if, do I want this to be a short story or a poem? So I'm gonna keep noodling. Hmm. What the heck did I do? Okay, give me a moment. Okay. I think that should fix it. Okay. So we kind of got the start of a short story here. I think I can turn this into something. I have all my notes that I took yesterday. So I think this has potential. I think this has potential. I gotta go put that into a document. And I will try and work on that more and finish that slowly over time. Because I think that'll end up being a short story. Yeah. Thank you so much again, Bobicus, for the prompt. I appreciate it. And I think the direction that I'm gonna go with that, I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit while we talk. I think the direction that I'm gonna go with that is people living on a base on the moon, and they've lived there for, I guess, centuries, whatever amount of time it is. None of them have really lived on the Earth, I think, is the starting point. And I think what I want to do is have this idea of kind of a permanent eclipse. The serpent comes, it doesn't have to really be a serpent, but that's just how it'll be described, and just covers the sun permanently. And so it's like, yeah, and there'll be stuff about radio in there, maybe radio stations, ham radio, I don't know, something auditory with regards to it. And then I put a note in there where maybe at some point I want the person from the moon to end up being on the Earth, but then that is like all the color and the movement and all of that stuff of like seeing the trees and this and that of the Earth is very, being that, having that be like a really overwhelming and negative and like harmful sensory experience. I don't know if that'll ultimately be a this story thing or a separate thing or just an idea that I've thrown out there and then don't ever incorporate into anything at all, but I could see that as being neat, a neat thing to explore. But that's kind of the point that I'm starting at with that as an idea for a short story, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you again for the prompt. Okay. I don't really know what I want to write next. I kind of thought a poem about the eclipse, but I feel like what we just worked on kind of, I think that kind of satisfied. That I wanted to write something with regards to the eclipse. And I think that satisfied that. And hopefully that'll be something where I'm able to keep working on that to turn it into a short story that is actually like done. Yeah. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, this was the start of the short story I had that involved Death Kitty. Supposed to be about moving perpetually to avoid a curse. But I kind of died out here. But you know, I keep most of the stuff that I ever jot down. So maybe someday I'll turn it into something, but this was the story that had Death Kitty in it. I also don't love the, like, the writing of it. I don't know. This was from many, many years ago, that idea. But I have a lot of stuff like that where it's like I've kind of started something and then it just kind of sits. And sometimes some of those get done and I work on them more, and sometimes they just sit there and they'll sit there maybe forever. I don't know. But I think it's good to, you know, write down your ideas. And even if you aren't actively working on them or writing them, you know, it's nice to have them archived almost. So that way, you know, you can go back and you can look at them every now and then. And maybe, you know, at some point they'll speak to you and you will want to write it. You will want to work on it. I'm gonna skip this song. Oh, we got an ad. Okay. Should be back from the ad. Okay. Sorry. I was just finishing a poem that I wrote off stream. Okay, I don't know what I want to do next. I don't know. Y'all have any more prompts of stuff you want me to try working on, you know? Let me know. Y'all want to talk about what you're working on? That's cool too. Really whatever. The vibes here, whatever. It is what it is, kind of thing. I did get some writing done. I don't know what to work on next. And you know what? That's okay, because we'll figure it out. And if we don't, then that's okay too. I don't know if I want to do edits of the constellation we leave behind right now. I feel like yeah, I almost feel like I want to, for that, I want to print out some of it and go through it by hand. But that's not something I would do on stream, so we'll set that aside. Maybe more of Angel's drowning. So this is where we left off with Angel's drowning. And I kind of have an idea of what I think what I'm gonna do is this will be like the end of one section of the first chapter, and now we'll go into the start of the next section. And I think I have an idea. I kind of want it to be like the angels kind of being very awkward to her, like treating her like she's a child and she's just had a temper tantrum kind of thing. Like being very like pats on the head, they're there, kind of like that. I feel like that would be kind of like that. And then Cordelia having to go about her day. Yeah. So let's try and work with that in mind, or me. I don't know why I'm saying we. Y'all should work with whatever you have in mind for whatever you are working on. Song, if not the playlist entirely. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for following. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Just so you are aware, there is a 10-minute waiting period before new followers can join the chat. That is just to keep myself, everybody else in chat, and you as well eventually as safe as possible. So I thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. And thank you again for the follow. Hello, how's it going? It's going good. It's going good. Right now I'm working on uh the working title is Angels Drowning. It's a supernatural romance novel that I'm currently in the process of zero drafting. And before this, we started a short story about the eclipse. Or based off of, inspired by the eclipse. But yes, hello. How's it going for you? How's your day slash night slash time zone slash time does not exist going? It's going great. Just finished another chapter. Only like 8 out of 20 chapters to go. Wow. Congratulations. You're doing it. That's so great. Love your VTuber, by the way. Did you draw them yourself? No. This is down in the credits. This was a free model shared on it's now defunct, but on Bilibili. This was a free model that someone made and shared. So I have that listed down in the credits below. But this was made by so I had to translate everything, but I believe their username in English would be trashcat_5nico. Yeah. But that's just what the internet translate thing was, so I don't know how accurate that as their username is. But I have their profile, so they're linked below. But that was back when Bilibili actually had, like, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a workspace thing where people would like list like models for sale, or like, oh, somebody commissioned this but then backed out, so here it is for free. And so like it was that, but now that space is gone forever, so that sucks. But this was from there. Oh, and we do have an ad. So I'm gonna go over here. Okay, we should all be back from the ad. Yeah, so I use Stimurites, which is, so that was from itch.io, and it's like a pay what you can thing. So if you can't pay anything, then you can get it for free as well. But it's a very cool program, and I really like it a lot. And it has, like, you can change how many words you want in here. You can change the background. They have some different typing sounds. I like the typewriter one. And the ah is very funny. But it's really cool. It's really cool. I like it a lot. So I write using this for stream, and then Google Docs as well. You use YWriter. I've never heard of that. Let me write that down to look at. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I see a lot of people use Scrivener. I see a lot of people I know a lot of people that use Google Docs and Word and stuff like that. But I used to use Word, but then I left school. And no, I'm not gonna pay money for Word. So yeah, and I also don't have the money for Scrivener, so I'm not gonna use that either. But I like Stimurites. I like it a lot. I think it's a fun program to draft with. Though I don't think I would be able to, like, you can't like save stuff in Stimurites. The aw killed ya. Yeah, it's very funny. It's very silly. It's very silly goofy. Blue does not like it. Also, hello, Blue. How are you? How are you doing? How's your day / night / time zone / time does not exist going? Fair. Word is pricey, and Google Docs is one pagey, one docky. Oh, I see. I get that. I'm trying to revise stuff now in Google Docs, and it does get kind of overwhelming for me. It's a lot to look at. So it's been a little rough trying to figure out how I'm gonna revise stuff. But YWriter lets you separate chapters and parts and scenes. Very neat for ADHD. Oh, well, I'll definitely have to take a look at that then. Because that has been, with trying to revise my sci-fi novella, it's all in one document, and I'm like trying to split it up into different pieces, but it's very overwhelming to look at. So that would maybe be good for me to be able to separate it. Yeah. Hanging in my background. Well, I hope you enjoy the background. Or, words. How do I use words? I hope that the vibes are what you need them to be. Yeah. Haven's Tide, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just so you are aware, there is a 10-minute waiting period before new followers can join the chat. This is just to keep myself, everybody else in chat, and you as well eventually as safe as possible. So I thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. Yeah, but thank you. Playing League of Legends and having your sounds to soothe me? Ooh. Well, I hope the League of Legending is going well. And that it's not, you know, that you're, I don't know if you're playing with people you know or not, but if you're having to play with strangers, then that the strangers are being kind and respectful and just generally good, cool people and not pieces of shit. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I'll keep it like this, but maybe I'm actually kind of thinking that this should just be a whole separate chapter. Because because this is gonna be a story that has 4 different characters that have chapters. So I'm kind of thinking that after, so this is part of the first chapter. The first chapter is Cordelia. So I'm kind of thinking after this, that then maybe I'll segue into chapter 2, which is gonna be Thaddeus's chapter. And then from there, we'll go to Magnolia, who he is having an affair with. And then from Magnolia, we'll go to Edward, who she is in an arranged marriage with. And from Edward, then we'll go back to Cordelia. And then from Cordelia, then we'll do this chapter. So this would be chapter 5. And then from here, Edward watches ashore. So then we go back to Edward, and then we go maybe Magnolia after that, and then maybe Thaddeus. So like, well, it'll be like that. It won't necessarily be like 1, 2, 3, 4 in order each time. But I don't know. That's what feels natural to me at this point in time. But I also feel like no. Okay, so any issues I have with this structure-wise are future me's problem, not current me's problem. Playing with a friend against mean people. Oh no. Well, you know, I hope you absolutely eviscerate and destroy the mean people in game. I hope you win all of the leagues and beat all of the legending. Yep. Yeah. But lucky you have a friend there. That's really cool. That's really neat. The power of friendship. That will with the power of friendship can do anything. This is true and real. And then this is the prologue for this book. And really, I don't even know if this is gonna end up being a book. This might end up being a series of books. But again, that's future me's problem. Current me's problem is just writing. But also my brain keeps going, but maybe some of future me's problems should be current me's problems. That's the prologue. I'm losing horrifically right now. Oh no, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What's my story about? So this is for Angels Drowning, which is just the working title, but it's a supernatural, pseudo-historical romance novel. And it's basically about a fucked up polycule that goes to the end of the earth to find and kill God. Literally. And then, I mean, one of them becomes God, so, like, there's that, and then, like, a lot of them, like, die, but that, like, they're also still here, and, like, they're very messy. They're very messy. I love mess. But so the characters we have are Cordelia. Cordelia is fallen angel, kind of like not a Selkie, but like kind of siren, sea monster. She's got stuff going on. Then there's Thaddeus, who is currently an angel, but then eventually falls to save Edward from hell. Edward? Regular dude. And then a ghost, because he dies. And he dies, like, I don't know at what point I want him to die, but it'll either be really early, like, I'm talking chapter 6, he dies after he washes ashore, like, I don't know, maybe Cordelia kills him, I don't know, or he dies later. I still have to figure that out. And then there's Magnolia, who is chronically ill, and then she becomes God. Yeah. And so Cordelia and Thaddeus, they have like they have a thing. They kind of have like the whole soulmate kind of thing, I knew you in another life kind of thing, and now you're here and you're you and I'm here and I'm me, and like it's messy and it's fucked up and it's complicated and it's ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah, you know? And then Thaddeus has a thing with Magnolia, who he's kind of having an affair with. And then Magnolia and Edward are in an arranged marriage and they hate each other's guts. Edward washes ashore and he's like head over heels for Cordelia, and Cordelia is like, I'll use you to escape and be free from where I have been imprisoned. And so they're kind of like, they got a whole thing going on. And then Cordelia and Magnolia later on, they're like kind of like sea pirate queen captain things together, I don't even know. And then Cordelia becomes a sea monster, so then it's like that. And then Edward and Thaddeus, as I said in the aforementioned, Thaddeus eventually falls from grace to go and save Edward from hell. Yeah. So all your characters are in the polycule. Yes. Yeah. They're mess. They're a very messy polycule. There's so much mess here. It's a real, everybody hates and loves and is killing and also making out with each other kind of deal. Which, you know, like that's great, and I love that, and I love mess, as I said. Don't be sorry, it's fun. I'm having fun, kind of weird Stockholm Syndrome game in a way. Yeah. I've never played League. Or actually, I think I tried playing once, and I was like, oh wow, let me click. And then everybody was so mean. And like, I had literally just started, like, it was my first game, and people were being so unbelievably toxic, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's enough of that. I'm leaving now. I actually not gonna bother to learn how to play this, actually, if this is the way you're gonna talk to people who, like, it's literally their first game playing. Like, yeah. Like, that's not for me. Their polycule is indeed a mess. I love it. I'm glad you love it. I love creating messy polycules. To me, there's nothing better than creating a messy polycule. I have another book that I will also inevitably be zero drafting, which is, the working title for that is Marrow. And in this one, we have another messy polycule. So there is Marrow, Saint, and Mercy. And this for context, this will end up being a novel, a queer sci-fi cannibals novel. So Saint is kind of like a girl god, but in a cult of other girl gods. And then Marrow and Mercy are clones of other girl gods that have long since died, because this is post-apocalyptic. And so, as I said, cannibalism in this book. So Marrow and Mercy kind of spend the whole time killing and eating each other, and Saint killing and eating them, and like it's just, and the end of the book will be, I mean, this might not be the end. I don't know. It's still very, it's gonna be horrible. This is gonna be a horrible book, because it's gonna have those three POV characters, and it'll have multiple different timelines, I guess, because as I said, it's got the clone thing going on. So one Marrow is not the same as the next Marrow, is not the same as the, like it's gonna be so fucking difficult to make that become a thing. But I have a very rough outline for it. But that's my other toxic polycule. And honestly, they're more toxic than the Angels Drowning polycule, because they're literally murdering and eating each other. Yeah. It's rough out there. And then the constellations we leave behind doesn't currently have a polycule in it, but in this set of revisions, I think I'm gonna make it so there's Karina, who's the main character, isolated astrobiologist with abandonment issues. There's Bellamy, her girlfriend, who is an astronaut, commander. And then I think there's gonna be Aster, who is an alien, like parasite. She's Aster, literally a star. But yeah, and so she's gonna like join with Karina and stuff, and then join with Bellamy, and also all of her friends and family are taking over the ship and stuff, and killing everybody. And it's just been is it cheating if they are both because Aster is joined to both of them at the same time, and it's technically they're only making out with each other, but it's through Aster. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. Yeah, so I love writing toxic, messy polycules. That's my favorite thing to write, actually. If only I could ever actually write. Every time you type to me, you die. Oh no, I just stop typing, Blue. Stop typing. Go lurk. Or I mean, you can type. If you're okay with dying, then I welcome your typing. But I also accept your lurking. Oh, I meant that when I die, I talk to you. Oh, okay, I see. I noticed you have a thing with God. Everything is a god in your books. Yeah. I play a lot around with themes of divinity. As well as monstrousness. Change, transformation, growth. Identity, sense of self, the unknown. Those tend to be recurring themes for me across my work. Oh, so we have an ad. Okay. Should be back from the ad. So at the moment, I'm just kind of... I'm working in the document that I have. To just tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go for much longer. I have a few other... Sorry, I realized I had started a sentence and then not finished it. But I have a few other, like, fragments of this written for other chapters. I'm just putting them into the zero draft document that I have and arranging them. So this is part of chapter 2. And then I have a piece of Magnolia's first chapter, but I'm gonna need to change it to be, because I think I had initially had it as her leaving where she lives, but I think I need it to be her coming back to where she lives. But yeah, so I think, you know, it's a decent start to Angel's Drowning. I'm just so slow at everything when it comes to creating a story. Unless I'm demonically possessed, and then in which case I just vomit up words. Okay. So we got some stuff done. Started a short story. Wrote a little bit for Angel's Drowning. Yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that for progress for today. So I think that's gonna be it from me for today. Thank you all so much for watching and hanging out. If you were lurking, I appreciate you. If you were chatting, I appreciate you. Thank you so much again to Egg A and Haven's Tide for following. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know if anybody is online that we could raid. Let me just take a quick look here. Thank you for stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So I'm not seeing any of our friends online at the moment. So I think I'm just gonna end it. We're not gonna raid out. But thank you all again so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your day / night / time zone / time does not exist. And I will see you all in another universe. Goodbye!